You're watching the PrepZone Game of the Week on Channel 13, Covington at Slidell.
It is the oldest rivalry in St. Tammany Parish. This is the 84th meeting. Welcome to the Prep Zone. My name is Grant Yeti. Tonight we're here at LV McGinty Stadium as the Covington Lions travel to take on the Slidell Tigers. Big matchup tonight, big rivalry. Let's bring in Coach Inman for more analysis. Coach, what are the keys to victory tonight?
Well, it's really quite simple. Whoever can impose their will on the other. I mean, Covington's going to be running. Slidell traditionally has been able to do that with their spread. Both teams won big games last week. It's time to build some momentum. Work off of that.
Coach, thank you. We'll have more analysis in the press box. I spoke with both coaches moments ago. Let's hear what they had to say and get to the action. Pregame with Coach Favre. Coach, it's the first time we're seeing your team in the Prep Zone this season. Can you give us a rundown on how the first half of your season's been?
Well, we've been playing well. We've got 20 seniors. Almost all of them are returning starters. We played well. You know, we're 2-2. We lost a real exciting game up at Walker. Two great teams. Lost to a great Destrehan team, and then we've beaten Kennedy in open district 1-0 with a very much improved Hammond team. So 1-0 in district and got the Lions in town tonight.
And the oldest rivalry in the parish. How big is this game for your team, and what's it going to take to get a W versus the Lions tonight?
Well, they're the defending district championship. So the district championship goes through their school, and they still believe that. They still own that. And so it's a huge game for district standings and for what's going to determine that in the 2018 season.
Pregame with Coach Salter. Coach, last time we saw your team was at the Dutchtown game, 1916. Win for the Griffins, but it looked like in that second half your offense was really clicking. How have they improved on that moving forward so far?
Yeah, you hate to take moral victories from losses, but we certainly learned a lot about ourselves in that second half and the type of character our kids had. And they had a great week of practice last week, and it carried over and played an excellent game on Friday night against Ponchatoula against a really good team. So things certainly don't get any easier this week. These guys have a great football team too, so we're going to have to play, every bit as good as we did last week. So it's going to be a test, but it should be a good game.
The oldest rivalry in the parish. What does this game mean to your team?
Well, for us, it's a leg up in the district race, and that's the only thing that matters to us. The rivalry and all that kind of stuff. The length of time we played. That's something we feel like for the communities and the fans to talk about. For us, the only goal is going 2-0 in district and nothing beyond that.
Hernandez to put this one in play. Burdine along with Crawford back deep. This will be returned. Kick short. Returned by Oscar Davis. Davis will be brought down
Kickoff return by Oscar
after crossing the 35-yard line.
Giovanni Hernandez, he can actually get it pretty close to the end zone. It looked like, given the field conditions, maybe Covington wants to go with a sky kick. Make sure you don't have any seams that are exposed on their kickoff coverage.
Slayton McDowell on the tackle there, the 5'8", 130 junior for the Lions. Now here in the Prep Zone this season, we'll get our first look at the Slidell offense.
Well, first look, kind of, because a lot of these names are going to be very, very familiar.
So first and 10 from the 36. Guidry calling for it, handoff, has a hole, and he'll be brought down by a host of Lions there. Harlan Dixon on the carry.
Covington's offense kind of sputtered there for a little bit. Went six quarters without scoring. They were able to find a groove, find a rhythm, find the right personnel for those situations, and they've been doing well on the offensive side. In the meantime, their defense has really kind of had to hold the fort down, and they've done an excellent job, and that's kind of an example of that right there.
Last week, Dixon, 13 carries, 134 yards on second down. Motion across, snap. Handoff goes Dixon again, coming near sideline, bouncing it outside, crossing the 40, trying to cut back inside, and he'll be brought down after crossing the 35-yard line, brought down by Washington, along with Tristan Hyatt.
Great move right there by Dixon. He started out inside, busted it outside, and once he did, he's got the athleticism to make something happen. And I mean, he's got the experience as well.
So big play, big first down for the Tigers as they move the ball down the field. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 32.
Big play right there for the Slidell Tigers.
Guidry, 2 up top. Calling for it is Guidry. Pass out, lofted, complete. And that'll be another first down as Jordan Smith hauls that one in. Smith, a 6'1", 170-pound junior.
And he's a nice target. I tell you, also see the slot back, Tito Simmons. He'll flare out on occasion, and between the two, it gives Guidry more than one option to roll with.
He's brought down by Dianati McDowell, a sophomore for Coach Salter, playing corner that opposite side of the field.
And I tell you what, Slidell's really moving the ball down the field quite quickly, and they look impressive.
So on first down, Guidry calling for it, looking to pass. Pass to Dixon, and he's tackled from behind by Edrin Cooper, but a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was sold very well by Slidell. They were looking for a little screen right there, and Blake Glass, number 30, he was the one who kind of got in the way and messed things up and allowed Covington to make the tackle.
So on second down, Guidry getting in the play to the line. Slidell setting up shop. 3 to the left. Guidry calls for it. Screen pass out, hauled in by Tito Simmons. And Simmons brought down at the 10-yard line by Juwan Harrell.
And that looks like it's going to be first and goal, Slidell, if the mark is right there by the line, and it is.
Juwan Harrell made the tackle.
Big plays from Slidell marching down the field so far in this one.
One big play and then a nice little methodical drive afterwards. Very impressive.
Guidry coming into this one. Last week he had 279 yards, 15 completions on 17 attempts.
That is an impressive evening.
Calls for it. Guidry looking left side, launches it up, complete, touchdown into the end zone. Jordan Smith.
I tell you what, Slidell, with the way that they just were able to march down the field so efficiently, putting it in the end zone and finding 6 right there is not a surprise at the end of the drive. That was an impressive drive by the Slidell Tigers.
Yeah, everything was clicking there.
It was. It was.
Play after play marching. Never even reached third down.
That is efficient.
So lining up in that swinging gate. There's the shift. Wills, the 5'7" senior lefty, on to attempt the extra point. Snap is back, placement, kick is up, and it is good. So with 9:24 remaining here in the first, Slidell leads 7-0. The Wills to kick off following the Slidell touchdown. Powerful kick, but it'll go to the 5. This will be returned by Cooper. Cooper rushing towards the middle. Slipped down at about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it was a slip right there, but honestly, Slidell had some good coverage right there. Good job setting that up for their special teams, and there was nowhere to go. So we'll get a look here at the Covington offense, who last time we covered them, it was a rough first half, but in the second half against Dutchtown, it was a completely different look. A radically different team, and then they put up 38 points last week against a very good Ponchatoula squad. So let's see what the Lions put out on the field with their offense here.
It looks like they're sticking with that same formation that we saw in the second half against Dutchtown.
Well, it's been working well, so we'll find out tonight if
if
they can continue with it.
They're keeping it himself. Bayham, room to run. He fumbles it. It's loose still. Slidell falls on it.
Picks it up.
But it was where there was a big pile there where they thought the ball was. The ball actually slipped out.
Yeah.
And then Simmons was able to fall on it.
Wow. I tell you what, a huge, huge turn of events right there, because the reality is he was going to waltz into the end zone. And one of those where the ball hits his hip and just kind of pops out, a little slick football right there, and Slidell was in heavy pursuit and was able to pounce on the ball and put that impressive and efficient offense back out on the field.
Yeah, great heads-up play there by Slidell, but a good run by Bayham. It looks like if that could work again, they could put something together if he's able to hold on to it.
Indeed. What they don't want to do is start their offense down 14. So Covington's defense needs to step up, and that just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, they attempted the quick pass out there to Simmons, but it falls incomplete as it looked like Simmons lost his footing. On the coverage was Harrell. So
And
2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
That's been about the only thing that stopped Slidell's offense tonight is that incomplete pass, because on that first drive, they were really, really impressive.
So Dixon to the right of Guidry. Trips left. Calling for it. Guidry looking downfield, stepping up, launches. This one picked off by Avery Mendheim.
Menheim is a playmaker. We've talked about him before. Just so cerebral, just such a smart player. And right place, right time. Obviously, he was reading the quarterback right there, and give him some credit. A lot of times DBs don't exactly have wide receiver hands, and on a wet field, he was able to pull the ball in and equal up the turnovers right there.
Exactly.
Big play.
So 1st and 10 for the Lions. Bayham. Quarterback Cooper was the quarterback for most of the game that we called against Dutchtown.
He was, but I tell you what, Bayham looked really good on his designed run right there.
This time of keeping it again, going up the middle, hits that hole hard and trucking for an extra couple of yards. He'll be about a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, I tell you what, if he doesn't fumble at that point, he's on about a 50-yard average. If Covington's offensive line can keep firing off and basically put it in his hands, in Cooper's hands, it's going to be a good night offensively for the Lions, it looks.
After that, they stretched the chains a little longer, so he's about 2.5-ish yards shy. Yeah. It looked a lot closer there during the play. So 2nd and 3 for the Lions. Bayham calling for it. Handoff, driver, barreling forward. You see him laying a lick on the Slidell defenders. He's not going to let them bring him down easy.
No, driver's a hard runner. He has no problem sticking his nose in and earning those really, really difficult yards.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Tackle made by number 11, Dante Daniels. That'll bring up 3rd and 2. Ball set at the 45
As subs come in and out, we see Edrin Cooper now checking into the game.
I tell you what, on a slick field, Cade Rogers is kind of a change of pace back. He's one of those guys that if he has his footing, he could really be a problem for our defense as well.
They're going in the Maryland eye here. The tailback is Cooper. Handoff. Cooper, wow, met at the line and driven back.
Wow.
With force by the Tigers.
Big stand right there by Slidell's defense. It's going to bring up a 4th and 3. And it looks like the Lions are going to leave their offense on the field.
Big play there, getting penetration by the Tigers.
Yes, very much so. Is this going to be a quick punt possibility, or don't be surprised at a fake punt right here as well?
So they are in that more quick kick formation. Kicks back, quick kick goes short, and it will bounce out of bounds at about the 31, 32-yard line.
Yeah, I tell you what, Bayham right there, if he looks to his left, he had a lane that would have picked up 20 or 30 yards easily. So obviously it's one of those where it was designed to be punted, and that's it, no other option. But, man, I tell you what, if he was given a fake punt option, if he reads that, huge play.
The last drive for the Tigers, a pass for an interception. Their first drive, though, was a well-orchestrated drive down the field. Let's see.
It was a thing of beauty, so let's see what happens.
Handoff to Simmons. Simmons very patient there as he waited. Some bodies started to drop in front of him. He was able to jump over one and gain some more yards.
Yeah, right after he did the little hurdle over one defender, he was able to make a nice little cut outside. And a good change of pace back as well. We watched him last year. He was impressive for Slidell in a number of games.
So 2nd and 3 for the Tigers. Simmons motioning Boatner across. Handoff, Simmons, first down and some still. Rushing forward, he'll get to about the 45-yard line, a first down for the Tigers. Brought down by Chandler Washington and Bobby Showers.
Yeah, it looked like Covington had the right defense called. The linebacker was basically going right up the middle on the blitz, and Tito was able to just sidestep him, find the hole where he vacated, and pick up a big gain.
And we will step away for a heat and humidity timeout. It's 7-0 Slidell with 5:50 remaining here in the first. After the heat and humidity break, 1st and 10 for the Tigers, motioning Simmons across. They'll handoff goes to Dixon, and he'll be gobbled up in the backfield.
Yeah, I tell you, Covington read that very well, had guys in spot to handle the business, including in this instance, Kobe Amos.
And I just, in that heat and humidity break, I stepped outside for a second. The rain is starting to come. We were worrying about it in pregame, whether or not the rain would get here, as we even had a lightning delay at the beginning, but now the rain's starting to come in, so we'll see how that affects the game as well. So 2nd and 11, Guidry calling for it. Play action pass complete.
Guidry's pass complete to Simmons.
For about a 5-yard gain.
You know, I think Simmons last year, we were discussing the red cape that he was wearing on occasion. He is just an all-around exceptional athlete. He looked like he was trying to stretch after that one. That little lightning delay that you mentioned, those things can be problematic even if they're only 15 or 20 minutes.
Makes it 3rd and 7 for the Tigers. Guidry by himself in the backfield. Dropping back, pressure coming, stepping up. Looking to pass, launches a good one up there, and it's caught. There's deflected and caught by Simmons. Missed tackle, and he'll bring it to the end zone. No flags down. Touchdown for the Tigers.
I tell you what.
There is a flag down.
That was an amazing series of events right there. It's going to be brought back, probably an offensive lineman downfield.
Yep.
You'll see some dirty hankies on the field, but man, I tell you what, everything but the call, you can't ask for anything better from Slidell in terms of having it go your way.
Yeah, and that flag was all the way on the other side of the field. That's out of our view.
Yeah,
but,
when you set up a screen and it just kind of gets blown up, you end up with a lineman usually not just downfield, but way down the field.
So third and 12 for the Tigers.
And as we've seen, they have that in their playbook.
Guidry calling for it. Pressure coming again. Wrapped up, gets away from Cooper. Cooper hits him as Guidry throws, and that's an incomplete pass intended for Brandon Spam.
I tell you what, Cooper is an impressive athlete. He's a junior, and I would imagine at some point he's going to have a lot of big-name schools trying to lure him to their campuses.
Already received Tulane.
Yes, and I have a feeling that after this year, that list is going to grow.
Candiff on the punt, the 6'5", 325-pounder. Boots that one away, bounces, and Slidell will down it at about the 28-yard line.
Down inside the 30. Covington Lions take over at their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10.
So now let's see if Covington can come out here and try and equalize it.
Well, I tell you what, we've seen flashes of brilliance from Covington. You know, a little unfortunate with the slick football and, you know, that turnover. But, again, this is an offense that we've seen work, 2 weeks ago. Let's see how this plays out with this slick field.
So you have in the backfield Bayham, Driver, and Cade Rogers.
Yeah, Cade Rogers, again, he's only a sophomore, but he is a really good change of pace back.
And Bayham will keep it going up the middle. He'll be brought down by a host of Lions.
Straight ahead.
Well, in this case, Tigers, but
Tigers. Lions and Tigers.
yep, no Bears.
So a 4-yard gain. That brings up 2nd and 6, 3:33 on the clock here in the first. Also, the fullback is Gage Bork. Calling for it. Handoff here goes to Rogers. And Rogers will be brought down by Solomon Hartley.
24,
Yeah,
Jeremiah
he's a guy that if he hits the hole, he's got some pretty good wheels. So that's a concern for Slidell going forward. But again, he's kind of a shifty back. If he can get outside or make a cut, he's that type of running back.
That's a 3rd and 6 for the Lions.
It's a big play.
Bayham calling for it. Play action to Rogers. Pass complete. But it's complete to number 19, to Kobe Callahan.
Wow.
Callahan is 6'4", 175-pound junior.
A big target right there. And I tell you what, nice pitch and catch right there.
So that's another first down for the Lions.
A lot of confidence Coach Salter has in these young men. 3rd and 6, you put the drive in their hands. They stepped up.
Both receivers that are, you have 6'4" on the left side, 6'3" on the other side. Is this one kept up the middle, and oh wow, solid form tackle there, brought down by Anthony Shadwick.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was a really, really nice design run, and then it wasn't. It was one of those where you just kind of hit a brick wall and you're not going anywhere.
For the Lions, you have Callahan, 6'4", on the Lions side of the field. Then here on the near side, Reggie Gauze, 6'3".
And you also have Justin Lee. When he comes in, he's 6'5", senior wideout as well.
So 2nd and 7. Bayham calling for it this time. Goes to driver, makes a cut upfield. And that's going to be close. They say he's down, maybe just shy.
Good hard running by driver. Nice tackle as well, given the circumstances. Driver's like, hey, just keep feeding us the ball. We got this.
Birdine on the tackle, the 6'1", 185-pound senior. Big list of schools recruiting him, but Mizzou at the top of the list.
Well, you know what? SEC school, you got to say, a little bit better weather on occasion than down here in terms of the heat and humidity. So, good on him. That's good stuff.
Covington in the Maryland Eye on 3rd down. Calling for it, jumping forward, Bayham. It looks like he got it. That'll be a first down for the Lions.
Hey, it's going to kind of depend upon the spot, but they're waving the chains.
Yeah, I mean, he broke right through off the snap. We're under a minute to go here in the first. Covington awaiting the play from the sideline as it's called in. So now, staying with the Maryland Eye, you go. There's Cooper, left side, and he'll be run out of bounds about 3 yards shy of the first down.
And I tell you what, he's such a good athlete. He can play on both sides of the ball as well. Obviously, at his linebacker position, we've seen him play some quarterback, and obviously now he can line up in the backfield.
This field's really deceptive. He must have stepped out because he's about 5 yards shy.
That's the end of the first quarter. The score, Slidell Tigers 7, Covington Lions
To the end
0.
of the first, Slidell leads 7-0. Maryland Eye here on 2nd down as the second quarter gets underway. Calling for it as Bayham gives it to the tailback Cooper. And Cooper driven back
Ball carrier number 5, entering Cooper.
by a host of Tigers. including Markeegan Gray.
Yeah, Gray was the one who really finished off the momentum, did a good job in terms of his form, made sure that Cooper, who is, like I said, a quality athlete, wasn't getting out of that tackle.
Gray, a 5'10", 155-pound sophomore for Coach Favre. But that brings up 3rd and 5 for the Lions, sticking with the Maryland eye. You go Rogers, Driver, Cooper. Hand off to Cooper again, trying to come near sideline, looking to cut up the field, but he is driven backward by a host of Tigers. That's a big stop.
Yeah, this is the second time you've seen that in short order. So, the question is at what point are we going to see something different? And maybe they're setting something up. But when you're looking at 4th and 5, they may stay on the field, may do a quick kick as well. But
Burdine dropping back to return, but it looks like. Well, let's see, because Cooper off the field, and they're not lining up in their quick kick formation.
They must see something they like in terms of.
And they're calling Ishmael up, but calling for it. Play action. Bayham takes off. Rushing forward, he'll be dropped. That'll be a turnover on downs and a big stop for the Tigers.
Big stop right there for the Tigers. They stepped up. 4th and 5. It kind of looked like Bayham had a little seam, but man, Slidell's defense did an excellent job of closing that up and sealing that drive, making it a finished product.
That was Chadwick on the stop. Now awaiting Slidell offense to take the field here on 1st down at the 39-yard line.
It does make you, question the field conditions and those concerns. A lot of stuff going up and down the middle of the crown of the field. So Slidell was so efficient on that first drive.
Ooh, hard count, nearly catching the Lions.
Might run out of time here, a timeout.
And Slidell takes a timeout. So with 10:20 to go here in the second quarter, Slidell leads 7-0. Our 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Motion from Simmons. Quick tip to Simmons, taking it up the middle, has a big hold, and he'll be about a yard shy of the 1st down there. Big gain there for Simmons.
He's having a big night in terms of impact. He had that one touchdown call back, or it would be a really big night. He's a quality player.
Cooper playing Ironman football makes the tackle there.
Yeah, again, also an impressive athlete, both sides of the ball. I tell you, you do start to worry about the field conditions taking their toll just in terms of conditioning and stamina.
2nd and 1.5. Guidry motioning Simmons, calls for it. Handoff here, goes to Dixon up the middle. He'll lead forward. Oh, nearly lost the ball, but he was able to scoop it back in, and that's a 1st down for the Tigers.
Yeah, he may have been down by the time he actually let go of the ball, but if not, he made sure that he kept it.
So another 1st down for the Tigers as they continue to drive here. Checking into the game, Tyler Harris, 5'11", 185-pounder, comes in at receiver.
2 nice calls right out of the gate. The Slidell Tigers.
2 to the right, 2 to the left here on 1st down. Guidry calling for it, looking to pass, left side, launches it out and through the hands of Jordan Smith.
Yeah, I tell you, McDowell was sitting back there and he was like, I got this, but one little fingertip and it, off the receiver's hands, and that's his potential interception, saying bye-bye.
So that brings up 2nd and 10 at the 49-yard line for the Tigers. Guidry calls for it. Handoff goes Dixon. Patience there as he barrels forward. He made the first guy was coming with a head full of steam, waited for him to miss, and then he took it up field.
Dixon is an impressive back. Again, a junior, and he got a lot of time last year. So this offense that Coach Favre's put together, they're an experienced group. So it does open the playbook up quite a bit in spite of these conditions.
So that brings up 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. Guidry in the gun, Dixon to his right. You have 2 receivers to the right. Calling for it. Ball is on the ground. Guidry diving on it and has to scoop it in, but that's a big loss for the Tigers on the snap that it looked like he really wasn't ready for, and then it was very low, almost scraping the ground as it went.
And it's unfortunate for Slidell just simply because, if they pick up a couple of yards or 3 yards, or obviously the first down, but if they're short, then they have a decision to make. This takes that decision out of the equation. It's time to punt.
They bring out big Marcus Candiff, the 325-pound punter.
Not your prototypical punter, but he can still get the job done.
Boots this one high into the air. And the Peter call. Lions get away from it, and they'll down it at the 20-yard line.
Down the ball, 20-yard line.
Be down there
Lions.
by number 57, Nolan English.
I tell you what, you're seeing 2 well-coached teams that have challenged themselves. Coaches have put these guys in a situation with their non-district slate to see some quality opposition, and it shows. These teams are playing some pretty decent ball out there, and if you've noticed, it's been mistake-free for the most part. In terms of penalties, I should say. 2 turnovers, it's not mistake-free, but in terms of penalties.
So 7:45 on the clock here in the first half. Lions offense back on the field. Bayham calling for it. Handoff here goes to Rogers. Rogers hard running. Pick up about 5 on the carry.
Run straight ahead for a pickup of 8.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 2.
The 2nd and 3 for the Lions as the clock continues to run. 7:18 to go before half. This running offense does chew up a good bit of clock as Bayham barrels forward, and he'll be dropped by a host of Tigers. Including number 44 is Solomon Hartley bringing him down.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's one of those where you just clog up the middle, try to make sure that there's not a whole lot of penetration on the offensive side. Bring up that 3rd. Now it's a 3rd and 3.
So now 3rd and 1
for
the Lions.
They caught me off guard.
Snap is back. Handoff here goes to Rogers again. And he was hit behind the line, but was able to kind of fall forward, and that's a first down.
Good hard running by Cade Rogers. Again, they've got a lot of talent in the backfield on the Covington side, and they're on the younger side for the most part. So that's a good thing going forward for the Lions.
Your 1st and 10, 6:34 on the clock. Bayham calls for it. Play action, looking to pass, drops back, launches this one. A flag is out, and that one is well overthrown. And now you have another late flag. That one may be on Terrius Crawford for the late hit.
Yeah, I would imagine the late hit's the easy one to call. The question is was it holding? Was it considered pass interference? What are they going to look at in terms of the DB on that side?
So they're officials talking it over. But it looks like both, as far as I saw, were on the Tigers.
Yes, that's what it at least looked like. So it looked like it, and then I would have thought it was holding on the DB, and then, it's one of those where wet field you might not be able to pull up, and it looked a lot worse than probably what it was.
Yeah, so holding. Yep, and there's your personal foul called. So big penalties there, and a big break for the Lions there.
Yeah, and again, it's not, how can I say this? They're both the right call, but there was no malicious intent on the personal foul. It's one of those where you're not going to be able to check up on a wet field, and when your intended receiver is kind of off balance from being held, kind of easy to knock him down, so to speak. But hey, that's the call, and it's the correct call.
So 1st and 10 at the 44. Snap is back. Here is Cooper barreling forward for a gain of about 6.
I'll tell you what, again, right up the crown where the footing is best, and as amazing as Cooper is as an athlete, those wet field conditions, muddy field conditions really can take a toll.
Official timeout.
2nd and 4. We're going to have a heat and humidity break here in the first half. 5:56 remaining. Slidell leads 7-0. All right, so 2nd and 4. Here after the heat and humidity break, calling for it is Cooper. Cooper stacked up, but still moving forward. He won't go down.
That's the rugby scrum right there that made its way into a football game. Just waiting to hear the whistle, and it just did not happen.
So that brings up 3rd down for the Lions. A big 3rd down here as we inch closer toward the half.
Yeah, I tell you what, 3rd and 1, and it's a big 3rd and 1, not only for the Lions, but also for Slidell's defense.
Absolutely.
So if the Tigers can step up right here and force a punt, that would be major. And let me tell you, they've been tough in the interior of their defensive line a couple of times. You know, Covington went and looked for a short run up the middle, and it just wasn't there.
So here we go on 3rd down. Calling for it, Cooper. And a flag comes flying out. Looks like false start on the Lions.
Yeah, that'll make 3rd and 6. And I can't imagine that would make Coach Salter very happy. One of those pre-snap penalties.
I mean, you're in great position.
Yeah.
Very close to getting the first down anyway with Cooper running the ball.
So that just made that 3rd down a tad bit more challenging. However, 3rd and 6 is more than manageable. With this offense, Slidell's defense can make things tough.
On 3rd down, Cooper calling for it. Cuts upfield, looking to get to that far sideline. Still on his feet, and he'll be about 2 yards shy.
I tell you what, good call right there by Slidell's defense. They had a run blitz on. Kind of forced Cooper outside, and he was just kind of picking and choosing his little spot to find a yard here or there, but it's going to end up being short, as you mentioned.
So, 4th down. Lions calling for it. Cooper stumbled, and it looks like he'll fall.
I don't
the way
think he didn't get it.
Well, let's see. Pettis with the tackle there. Mighty close. And no, they say 1st down for the Tigers.
Yeah, he didn't get it. He was, tripped up, or the turf got him. One of the two. But I tell you what, if you're going to be looking for those 2 hard yards, you can't be on the way to the ground 3 yards deep in the end.
For sure.
In the back.
So now we'll see Guidry and company coming out onto the field, and they would love. They have 4 minutes on the clock here in the first half. They would love to score here to get that 2-score lead before half.
And that was a huge defensive stop by the Slidell Tigers.
Going forward, handoff goes Dixon.
Oh,
Dixon
man.
Dropped by number 34. That's Cedric Laird.
Yeah. That's also, it's one of those things where that's a hard hit on any field, under any field conditions. But when your feet go out from under you, man.
Goodness.
It just looks brutal.
Yeah. So 2nd and 10 for the Tigers is Guidry. Calling in a play talking there to Span. Now Guidry calling for it. Handoff goes to Simmons, going far sideline, and he'll be maybe a yard shy of that 1st down.
Yeah, it's going to be close, and again, Simmons is a quality player. You put he and Dixon together, and they can definitely make some stuff happen.
So that brings up 3rd and 1 for the Tigers. Subs come in. Here, Guidry. Well, let's see. Guidry coming out. As they huddle up here on 3rd down, Simmons. And the Wild Tiger calling for it. Looking to cut up. He slipped and he fell and he's short.
That same turf monster they got Cooper, got Simmons right there.
So that'll be a 4th down for the Tigers. And you see Simmons yelling over at the sideline saying, let's go.
That may be the case, but with 3 minutes left in the first half and a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, 3 minutes left. And Slidell calls a timeout. So with 3 minutes remaining here in the first half, Slidell leads 7-0. So here, 4th down, they go for it.
Oh,
And he got across there. That is a
wow.
Well done. Gutsy play call, yeah.
Gutsy call right there by Coach Goff.
But brought down by Bobby Showers. Well done. They're going with that full house backfield.
Yeah, and you could see the senior leadership there. Like you were discussing earlier, Slidell, a lot of experience coming back. In those situations, you need that leadership to come to the fore.
Trips to the bottom of your screen here on 1st and 10. Guidry calling for it. Pass to the left, complete and upended. But complete to Jordan Smith for a gain of 6. And so that brings up, gaining 6. So 2nd and 4 for Slidell.
So we got 2:17, and the clock is running.
So I'd assume we'd see a more up-tempo here from Slidell. But right now, kind of taking their time to get the play set.
Yeah, and just on the other side of midfield.
So on 2nd down, Guidry in the gun. Guidry calls for it. Handoff goes to Dixon. And it looks like he'll be dropped possibly a yard shy. He was brought down from behind by Cooper.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
3rd and 1, 90 seconds to go here in the first half.
A short one, and I tell you, we've already seen Slidell. They don't have a problem with going forward on 4th down.
No. So calling for it, Guidry, high snap, able to handle it, gives it to Dixon. Dixon breaking free, and wow, a score-saving tackle there by Washington.
Yeah, I tell you what, you are absolutely right when you're saying a score-saving tackle. In the very least, though, that puts Slidell potentially in range for a field goal if nothing else happens going forward. But the way that their offense is clicking, you would have to think that they're looking for 6. Cap this drive off, and like you said, 2-score lead here at half.
Yeah, Chandler, Washington, great tackle there. Now they have Washington way back there now. On 1st down, Guidry, pass left side, hauled in by Simmons for a gain of 7.
Yeah, and you got Guidry sitting there, and he looks, and the DB is really giving a lot of space out there. So why not take it?
40 seconds to go. That 2nd and 4 for the Tigers. Guidry calling for it. Handoff goes to Dixon, near side. And Lions flocking to the ball. We have a late flag coming out.
There's a flag on the play.
And Guidry clapping as if it's on the Lions. So 25 seconds on the clock. Let's see what the call is. Oh.
We're going to have to see what this
I'm awaiting the call.
penalty is.
Personal foul on the Lions there.
Against the Lions.
So that'll be,
it's going to be a 1st down.
First down for the Tigers with 25 seconds left on the clock here in the first half. It's right at the, at the 9.
So Slidell's going to have a couple of bites.
No, right at the 10.
Bites at the apple right here.
At the 9-yard line.
Covington's defense really is going to have to make a stand if they're going to want to stay within striking
Guidry
distance.
calls for it, looking to the end zone off the fingertips of Jordan Smith.
Smith with a diving try right there. I tell you, just off his outstretched fingertips.
So 2nd and goal for the Tigers here, 19 seconds remaining.
No panic on the Slidell side.
No, absolutely not.
Like I said, a senior-laden team, a lot of upperclassmen. This is what you expect from them in this moment.
So Guidry, there's 5 wide. Guidry alone in the backfield, calling for it. Guidry looking left side, looking right. Pass complete to Smith, and he's brought down by Cooper.
For a short gain.
That's Cooper and Kobe Amos
Timeout,
for
Slidell.
Covington, and Slidell will take a timeout with 12 seconds on the clock here in the first half, and Slidell leads 7-0. So after the timeout, see Guidry alone in the backfield. You have 12 ticks on the clock here before half.
Covington's defense is going to have to step up. Slidell's offense is looking to really give themselves
Guidry
the room.
pass complete.
And it's
Dixon into the end zone. And an 8-yard touchdown pass from Guidry to Dixon.
Dixon with one little move that gave him just a small window to jump forward and put the ball over the line. Big play right there for Slidell.
So that'll bring out a little swinging gate, but Wills to kick the extra point. In my time here in the prep zone, I've never seen them run a play out of this.
No, I haven't either, and I doubt you'll see that now with a 2-score lead.
Yeah.
Josh Wills.
So Wills going to line up for the extra point. The lefty on out of the Guidry hold. Snap is back, kick is up, and it is no good. So with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half, Slidell leads 13-0. So Wills to kick this one away after the Slidell touchdown. 8 seconds on the clock here before half. Low line drive kick back, and it'll be returned by Cooper. Cooper dropped by Oscar Davis.
And that is certainly a good way for Slidell to end the half.
And that'll bring us to halftime as Slidell leads 13-0.
Please welcome the pride and the roar of Covington High School, the Marching Lion Band. Introducing the drum majors of the Marching Lions, Joy Conlon, Oscar Jimenez, and Raymond Vo. The Covington High School Marching Lions are going to perform Believer by the Imagine Dragons. We will now feature the CHS Dancing Darlings in golden silks. The Dancing Darlings officers are Captain Lexi Abear, Co-Captain Katie Haupt, Lieutenant Haley Kep. The golden silk officers are Captain Terry-Ann Whitehead, Co-Captain Brianna Wimmer, and Lieutenant Abigail Blackman. And sit back and enjoy the marching lines as they perform all of the above.
Swingerettes present the pop hit Hand Clap by Fritz and the Tantrums. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Swingerettes. Slidell Junior High Band is led by Celia Guillory. The Clearwood Junior High Band is led by Ronnie Mayu. The Marching Tigers are under the direction of Brent Weil and Ian Wright, and instructors Tiani Nicholson, Cody Couillon, Christine Scheller, and Colin Hinkle. The Swingerettes are led by Mallory Muller and Kenzie Monroe. The Marching Tigers and Swingerettes would like to thank the faculty, staff, and administration of Slidell High School, and especially their parents, for their wonderful support. Thank you, and enjoy the remainder of the game.
Kicking off the second half, Wills to boot this one away for the Tigers. They lead 13-0 here to start off the second half. This will be through the hands of Chandler Washington, still on the ground, picked up by Cooper. Cooper has a hole, hits it, and he'll be brought down after crossing the 30-yard line by Dante Daniels, 5'11", 190-pound junior for the Tigers.
I tell you what, good first half for the Slidell Tigers. Coach Favre's got to be very pleased going in up 13-0, and basically puts the onus on the Covington offense to come out and, try to find some points on this drive.
Yeah, what do they need to improve on here as they've been blanked thus far?
Well, I mean, the reality is they've been churning out some yards right up the middle, just basically staying on the crown. They might look to, again, go wide, find some footing, and if they can get out wide and hit the afterburners, you got some guys that can definitely eat up some yards.
So on first down, Bayham calling for it, looking to pass, launches it out right side, caught, barreling upfield. He'll be pushed out of bounds after an 8-yard gain. That's Reggie Gauze, the 6'3", 175-pound junior for the Lions.
Gauze, a good job right there, getting to the sideline and finding some additional yards. Pushed out, but Covington looks like they're ready to come out and throw the ball, at least spread the linebackers out and the safety, keep the safeties honest as well, give them some running room up the middle.
So that brings up 2nd and 2 for the Lions as they await the play from the sideline. And it was a very quick first half as both teams churned out a bunch of yards very quickly and just kept the clock running.
Yeah, the ball wasn't in the air often. They did a good job when it was in, out there tossing the rock, but a lot of runs.
Miss Rogers looking to cut up field. He looked like he lost his footing there, but he did a really good job to dive forward and gain the 2 he needed to get the first down for the Lions.
And he's that guy, like I said, he's the change of pace guy. Light on his feet or lighter on his feet, which could give him an advantage in this mug, so to speak. On the flip side, you've got some guys, Cooper and Bayham, that when they go forward, they're like tanks in these conditions.
Bayham passes it out complete to Callahan. Callahan will be brought down after a gain of 4.
Complete to Kobe Callahan.
And again, you've got a really, really tall, athletic group of wide receivers for Covington. And Bayham's doing a good job of finding him.
Hartley with the tackle for the Tigers. That brings up 2nd and 7 for the Lions. Calling for it, Bayham keeps it himself up the middle. He had a little bit of a hole as he went forward, but it closed up very quickly. Only a gain of about 2 on the carry.
Yeah, Slidell did a good job basically staying disciplined right there, making sure that they didn't bite on anything that looked like it may be going wide. So Bayham did churn out a little bit of yardage right there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
So on 3rd and 5, calling for it. Pass on the play action, launched it up, and it's overthrown, intended for Reggie Gauze.
Yeah, that's one of those, he was well covered, and basically just throw it up and hope he can go get it, and fortunately for Slidell and unfortunately for the Lions, did not happen.
Yeah, Jerry Thompson, senior corner on the coverage there for the Tigers, excuse me. So that'll bring up 4th down. And there, you see the 2 running backs move up into a more protector role for the quick kick as it's punted away, and it will, good roll for the Lions, and it'll be down at the 21-yard line. So, yeah, we'll see the Tiger offense take over at the 21-yard line, and they were able to put together a great drive there right before halftime.
And it's kind of a weird first half. Their first drive was absolutely magnificent, and then it kind of came off the rails a little bit until the end, and that's when their upperclassmen really started to step up. A lot of senior leadership. You saw a lot of Guidry to Simmons. You saw Harlan Dixon, also another upperclassman, a junior. That experience came through in that big drive. So time to see what happens to start of the second half.
So Guidry calling for it on first down, quickly gives it to Dixon, has a hole, hits it hard, and he'll dive backwards as he got kind of spun around, uses that force to dive backwards, and that's a gain of about 9 yards on the carry, 9 plus. It's very close to the first down there.
And if you're Slidell, you will take that all the entire second half.
Yeah, so that makes it 2nd and 1 for the Tigers. They have the calling for it. Guidry, give to Dixon. Hits a hole, trying to come near sideline, and he'll be brought down. Tackled by number 15. That's Bobby Showers, but that's another first down for Slidell as they continue this drive.
Good open field tackle right there by the Lions. The problem if you're the Lions, it's 10 yards down the field. Slidell is really putting together a good drive right here. Very impressive.
A very good push from those big guys up front, and good running, good vision there from Dixon to find a hole and where to run, and he's cutting inside or outside as necessary.
Again, Dixon he's a next level kind of guy. Quality back.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Here 9:11 on the clock. Calling for it, Guidry. Give, goes to Dixon again, has a hole, hits it hard. Now running far sideline, has the first down plus some, and he'll be brought down over at the 40-yard line by Chandler Washington.
And he is just eating yards up by the chunk. Again, smart decision, went inside, bounced it out, let his athleticism take over. Smart player, quality all the way through.
So another first down for the Tigers. Ball is at the 41-yard line as they continue this drive. They're going 2 to the right, 1 out to the left. Guidry calling for it. Give goes to Dixon again, has a hole once again. This is exceptional work here from this offensive line for the Tigers.
Most definitely. And the other thing is, when you've got someone like Harlan Dixon back there, you can feed him as often as you like, and it'll set up the play action pass. And then you've got Guidry to Simmons, or we saw Smith earlier as well. A lot of options.
So 2nd and 4 for the Tigers. Motion Simmons. The give goes to Simmons on the jet sweep. Looking to cut up field, misses one tackle. It takes the 2nd and 3rd guy to bring him down. He's brought down by Jawan Harrell along with Showers.
Yeah, a lot of options for the Slidell Tigers right now. That playbook has got a few extra pages in it. And this is, par for the course, so to speak. You got a quality squad, a lot of talent, and a lot of experience, and it's on display.
1st and 10 once again.
Just like the first drive of the game.
Right, just a methodical march down the field. Here the handoff goes to Dixon, makes the first guy miss, makes the 2nd guy miss. It takes the 3rd one to bring him down. Bringing him down to Showers.
Right call right there. Covington had a blitz on, but he's quality. He just sidesteps one guy, sidesteps another. Next thing you know, Dixon's 10 yards downfield.
Dixon is a very patient back.
Again, smart. He's just a smart back. He reads everything, takes what's available to him.
So 2nd and 3 as Slidell continues this drive. Guidry calling for it. Give goes to Simmons this time. And he's brought down with force inside the 15, and we have a flag down.
Yeah, that's one of those that it could be, one of those false starts where
false start
might back Slidell up. That's about the only thing that's slowing down Slidell's offense at this point.
Themselves. So they'll mark this one off. The ball at the 27. So that'll be 2nd and 8 for the Tigers here.
I mean, even in spite of that false start, 2nd and 8, the way that Slidell's offense is churning, that is very, very easily managed.
Dixon in motion. Give. Goes to Simmons. Has a massive hole that he hits. Inside 5. Touchdown. Tito Simmons. Excellent job by the offensive line. And then Tito Simmons hitting it hard.
And using his blockers downfield. He actually ran up the back of one of his blockers, and he was able to push him forward into his block. Gave himself more space. And then once he had space, he just hit the afterburners.
And pay dirt for Simmons. The senior, 5'8", 165-pound senior. So, swinging gate. Now Will
going for two here.
Guidry with Simmons to his right. And let's see. I don't know if Covington was ready. Oh, we have a flag down. And could be, yeah, it's on the Lions.
Offsides lined up in the neutral zone. And it's kind of weird because that was actually called on one of the Lions defenders who was out wide. So that's an unusual call. Not to say it's the incorrect call because it was totally the correct call. It's just an unusual call.
So still going for two, want to make up for that missed extra point. Guidry calling for it. Give goes to Simmons, and he's dropped in the backfield. So the 2-point conversion fails. And with 6, we have a flag down after. Very late flag.
Yeah, and you also see Tristan Hyatt. He was a guy who was in on the tackle, walking around with a bit of a hitch in his giddy up.
So this, as we wait, it'll be, the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. So with 6:43 remaining here in the third quarter, Slidell leads 19-0. Wills to kick this one away for the Tigers. Boots it deep. This will be returned by Cooper. Cooper hauls it in, looking to get toward the middle. And sheds off one guy, brought down by number 15, Caden Beck.
And I tell you, the Lions can't ask for better starting field position. They'll be out near the 40-yard line. But the impetus is really on the offense to go find some points at this point. 19-0. Coach Favre has to be very, very happy with the current circumstances.
You think we see more variety with play calling here from the Lions?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where, the playbook's going to have to be opened up just simply because of the circumstances. But that being said, there's still quite a bit of time left. So they may stick with it until their hand is full.
And here's Driver coming near side. Wow, he's tattooed by Ishmael Burdine.
Number 24, Jeremiah Driver.
Yeah, Driver's normally the one laying the licks. In that case right there, he kind of absorbed one, got a free massage, but he's tough. He got up. Good play right there by the Slidell defense.
Burdine, an exceptional player, also exceptional in the classroom for the Tigers. So 2nd and 6 for the Lions. Baham calling for it, looking to pass, complete. And Burdine brings him down, but a first down for the Lions. That's Reggie Gauze hauling that one in.
Been a nice little series of pitch and catch between those two this evening. So the slant is definitely available.
And we'll step away for the heat and humidity break here with 5:51 remaining here in the third. Slidell leading 19-0. So 1st and 10 coming out of the heat and humidity break. Calling for it is Baham. Baham lofting out a screen to Gauze. Gauze looking to work his way upfield, and he'll be dropped after a gain of 3.
Yeah, that was kind of a little bubble screen. Trying to get Gauze in some space. Slidell defended that very well.
So that brings up 2nd and 8 for the Lions as they continue this drive. And looking to continue moving it. Driver and Rogers in the backfield calling for it. Bayham give goes to Driver, working his way there to the far sideline, and well done there. Good hard running from Driver.
More of the same. We expect that from Driver. Like I said, he's a tough player, hard-nosed player. He gets in. He's not afraid to put his nose in there and get after him.
So that brings up third and 2.
Big play
for the
here.
Lions. And that stick on the other side, I guess it may not have a 3 on it. I don't know. This is the second time that's happened here tonight. Calling for it. Bayham quickly at the draw, and he'll cross for the first down for the Lions.
Sheldon Bayham carries straight ahead.
Big play right there for the Lions offense. They need to keep the Slidell offense on the sideline, give their defense a breather, and find pay dirt, climb back into this game. And if you're Coach Salter, you're looking at it in small increments. Let me chew a little bit, get back in, and then we can reevaluate.
But another first down for the Lions as they keep the drive alive. So 4:26 to go here in the third. And Bayham calling for it. Play action. Pass is complete. Complete to Kobe Callahan.
Nice job by Callahan getting his hands under the ball. It was a little short, so he just needed to make sure to get him there, cradle the ball, pull it in. But it was just a short gain.
That brings up 2nd and 8 for the Lions as they await the call, and you would think we'd be seeing a little bit more urgency out of them to get to the ball and set up the play.
Yeah, the clock's definitely on the move, 3:40 and counting down.
And it's Slidell's friend right now.
Indeed.
Snap is back. Bayham give to Driver. He's met. And
Driver carries, no gain.
Met back at the line. Brought down by a host of Tigers there.
I tell you what, you see Slidell, they're just flowing to the ball. Plenty of hats in the area to put on the ball. And I mean, there's a reason that Covington hasn't scored yet tonight, and that's because Slidell's defense has really been stiff.
So 3rd and 8. It's 3:09 on the clock here in the third. Bayham calling for it once again. Play action to Rogers. Pressure bearing down, and he's dropped in the backfield by Solomon Hartley.
Huge play by Slidell's defense, coaching staff. The Tigers did a great job right there, dialing up a little bit of pressure, and it paid off.
Yeah, good pressure there as 3 guys were bearing down, and Hartley was the guy to grab on and sling Bayham to the ground to finish it up. So that brings up 4th and 14, and they're not in their typical quick kick formation here. Bayham, looking to pass here on 4th down, launches this one up, and that is, that's intended out there for Reggie Gauze, but I believe that's going to be pass interference called on Jerry Thompson.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be an automatic first down, and Covington's drive will continue.
So a big break for the Lions on 4th down.
Really big break right there.
And that gets them into the red zone.
Yeah, without that, that drive is basically over. That ball, I don't want to say it was uncatchable, but it would have taken a major effort on Gauze's part to pull that ball in. So you were right. Covington's kind of bailed out right there, but Lions drive continues. We'll see what happens.
1st and 10 from the 19-yard line as Covington heads back to the line. And they're saying they need to pump up the clock. So Bayham calling for it. Give goes Rogers, looking right side, looks to cut upfield, and he's brought down after a good gain there, about a 9-yard gain by Markeegan Gray.
And I tell you what, he is the change of pace back, get him out wide, let him find some space. Once he finds some space, he's got some wheels.
I'll tell you what, this field is very deceptive because they have about 3 yards to go.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 3 for the Lions. It looked much closer than that. Bayham calls for it. Snap very high. Bayham dives forward as pressure was bearing down from Blake Simmons. He tried to make something out of it and instead dove forward.
And I tell you what, Bayham, great job right there to minimize the damage on the play, because one, if it gets away from him, obviously it's a major issue. And then if you're looking at him just falling forward, it keeps this as a manageable 3rd down.
And so 3rd and 8 with 1:06 to go here in the 3rd. Pass coming, and it's complete. And let's see, did he get inside? No, he's down at the 1-yard line.
Bayham's pass.
And that is
Complete to Callahan.
Callahan.
First down, Lions. Ball spotted at the 1-yard line.
On the reception.
And I tell you what.
So now the Bigs package coming in for the Tigers.
This is a big stand for Slidell's defense. Obviously, if they can somehow keep Covington out of the end zone, it's pretty much a ball game at this point. Covington, though, can climb back in. Like I said, Coach Salter's going to look to chew into that lead just a little bit and then go from there after he reevaluates things.
Maryland I here at the 1-yard line. Bayham calls for it to give to Driver. Driver turning forward, and he's in. Signal, so touchdown for the Lions, and they are on the board with 50 seconds to go here in the 3rd.
Yeah, and I tell you, with a 19-6 lead, you're going to look at the 2-point conversion here, try to get it to 19-8. Eventually, work your way down if you're Covington, try to find another score, another 2-point conversion, and it's a field goal game.
So
nope.
On for the Lions.
They're going with the extra point.
Donis Sordo, excuse me, the junior kicker, out of the hold of Blake Sharp. Snap. Whoa, high. Good job by Sharp to get it down, but no, that's blocked.
Ishmael Burney with the block for the Tigers.
Yeah, Burney with the block, and the extra point attempt fails. So with 50 seconds remaining here in the 3rd, Slidell leads.
19-6.
So Hernandez to kick this one away for the Lions following the touchdown. Boots this one down, and it will be returned by Crawford. Crawford looking across the field, the speedy Crawford now trying to turn it upfield. Had space there on that far sideline. So good return there from Crawford, and Slidell gets good field position to start this drive at about the 34-yard line.
And I tell you what, that was all Crawford, because the kick was placed exactly where it was supposed to be placed. Covington had guys in the lanes where they were supposed to be. The coverage was actually pretty good, in terms of the kickoff coverage, but I mean, he made that happen just by sheer will, determination, and athleticism.
So 1st and 10, they've been able to methodically march down the field. Last time were the Tigers. Let's see how this drive goes here. Guidry is alone in the backfield.
With the clock being slowly drained, Covington needs to step up.
Simmons, halfback pass. There's a flag down. This one deep and incomplete. Intended long for Tyler Harris, but that's going to be assessed on the Tigers, and we will step away for the injury timeout. So 1st and 15 for the Tigers. It was a gutsy call on.
Hey, Coach Favre's got confidence in his guys, and even though they just gave up some points, he's obviously got a lot of confidence in his defense at this point in this game.
There we go. Now, clock is ready to go. Handoff goes to Dixon, breaking through. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 5 as the clock continues to wind.
2nd and 10.
And 21 seconds on the clock here in the 3rd.
And that may bring us to the end of the 3rd unless Covington decides to burn a timeout here.
And it looks like Well, we have whistled down. Who?
I don't know, but the clock is all over the place.
Yeah, now the clock is bouncing all over. Let's see.
It may have to be kept on the field.
No. Looks like they're winding it down. And that's the end of the third quarter. End of the third quarter as Slidell leads 19-6. Kicking off the fourth quarter here at LV McGinty Stadium. Slidell on second down. Guidry calls for it, looking to pass. Tosses it out there. Wow, complete to Simmons. Splitting defenders. 20, 10, 5, touchdown for the Slidell Tigers.
Huge
Just like
play.
that, kicking off the fourth
play.
quarter.
And that is the cape, the Superman cape coming back into play. I mean, look, it's one of those things where, Covington had two defenders there. The defense was set up. He bounced literally off of both of them as they sandwiched him. Kept his momentum going forward, and you saw the end result. Pay dirt.
So 25-6 for the moment. They're going to, let's see, they trot back out to attempt the 2-point conversion. Yeah, they're going to calling in the play from the sideline. Guidry. It looks like maybe a little confusion as Guidry having to tell the tight end something.
You got Simmons
Calling
in the
for it.
backfield.
Guidry looking left side, lofts it up for Dixon, hauls it in. 2-point conversion is good. So with 11:44 to go here in the fourth quarter, Slidell leads 27-6. Wills to kick off for the Tigers. After the 2-point conversion was good, Tito Simmons touchdown, and then a Harlan Dixon 2-point conversion. Wills boots this one deep, and we have a flag on the kickoff. So most likely offsides will be assessed on the Tigers.
More likely than not. But going back to that drive, all you got to look at is the impact players for Slidell. They were all involved.
Yes.
Guidry to Simmons, the big play. Then you look at the 2-point conversion.
Guidry lofts it out to Dixon, who was wide open in the corner of the end zone.
I mean, those guys are just playmakers.
And Simmons there with splitting defenders. It was threading the needle for Guidry.
Yeah, that was a great pass, and I don't think he split the defenders per se. They hit him at the same time,
and he broke right through him.
They just kind of catapulted him right through.
Right.
They kind of absorbed the energy of each other's tackle.
This one back, Chandler Washington to return this one. Has a lane coming near sideline, and he'll be brought down by a host of Tigers around the 40-yard line by number 30 there. That's Ray Stoltz, a 5'10", 175-pound sophomore for the Tigers.
And Covington can't complain again about this field position. It's almost at the 40-yard line. Again, the biggest concern for the Covington Lions right now is something that Slidell's going to be quite happy about, and that's the clock. It is definitely in Slidell's favor, as it is going to, find its way to 0. And the question is, can Covington do something on the offensive side?
Well, the offense that they've been running so far in this game is not really conducive to coming from behind.
Yeah, it's not a quick strike offense unless they're able to find some space, and then they've got the guys who can eat up some yardage.
Calling for it is Bayham. The give goes to Driver, looking to hit the edge left side, and he'll be brought down. Well, still fighting forward, but about a gain of 4 on the carry.
And again, Driver, we've talked about it a number of times. Just that guy, tough, definitely a tough runner.
Yeah, so that brings up second and 6 for the Lions. And man, fans fired up here on the Slidell side, as they should be. Our press box here is rocking. You can see it on your camera where Dave Williams is perched out there shaking.
Yeah, it's cavitating.
And this Bayham keeps it himself, and he'll be wrangled up, slowed down. Ball is loose. Going the other way are the Tigers. And it is going to the end zone. That's Terrius Crawford Crawford making the heads-up play, picking that one up.
Huge play. Slidell just strip the ball out, scoop and score.
Yeah, the strip from Matthew Retief, a junior defensive tackle down there, just taking the ball, ripping it right out of Bayham's hands.
You know, you look at this Slidell team, like we mentioned, the upperclassmen involved. It's not just on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, their defense is loaded with juniors and seniors. As a matter of fact, only one player that's not a junior or senior, and that's Gray starting on that side of the defense. He's a sophomore. Other than that, a lot of experience.
So swinging gate formation, the extra point to come from Wills after that 2-point conversion made it the first time. Now they can go back to doing the regular extra points. They made up their lost ground. But Wills, the lefty, on to attempt the extra point. Snap is back, kick is up, and it is through. So with 10:39 to go here in the fourth, Slidell leads 34-6. Wills on to kick this one away. Boots this one deep. It'll be returned by Chandler Washington. Through his hands, picks it up at the 5, looking to get toward the middle, and he will be slung down at the 10-yard line by Markeegan Gray.
Yeah, I tell you what, speaking of the youngster, there he is making an impact on the play. You know, it's one of those where if you're going to go sideways or you're going to go backwards and try to use your athleticism, it can either be spectacular or it can get sideways really quickly.
So the Lions will have a long field ahead of them.
Indeed.
Here with 10:29 on the clock in the fourth and down 34-6.
Yeah, it's gonna be quick strike, and if not, it's, you know, go with what you're familiar with.
Calling for it, handoff, going to Driver, coming near side, and we have a flag down. A host of Tigers take down Driver, led there by Davis. Flag down, and Coach Favre signaling as if it's on the Lions.
We'll find out really quickly. The officials are going to let us know. And it is a
holding on the Lions, so that makes that they were already had bad field position to start this drive, and now that'll make it even worse.
Yeah, the field just got longer.
So they're down to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, I mean that can be a stat stuffer if you can break through and find 92 yards, but
you're right. But now they await the call from the sideline, and Bayham in the backfield with Driver. Now they added an extra receiver, took Rogers out. Handoff up the middle. Driver has a big hole, hits it hard, still churning forward, and he'll get down to the 22-yard line. Still shy of the first down.
More of the same. You know, Driver, you know what you're going to get. He is going to be true to his name, and he's going to drive the pile, and he's going to give the effort.
Chadwick and Davis on the stop. And actually, Rogers is in at that fullback position, so Bork is who came out. And, a busted play. Bayham takes it himself, though, and he'll have the first down. But it looked like Driver wasn't where he was supposed to be. And,
yeah, that ended up working out.
Yeah.
That's something in the film room that Covington's definitely going to have to sort out.
More fired up crowd here jumping around for Slidell as you see the camera shaking.
Absolutely.
9:20 to go here in the fourth. Bayham in the gun here on first down, looking to pass now. Pressure bearing down, lofts this one out, and he's out of bounds. That was Reggie Gauze able to haul it in, but he had his feet out of bounds.
Yeah, he ran out of real estate, but what a great grab right there. You know, shows his quality, able to get up, get a paw on it, and bring it back in.
The 6'3", 175. For some receivers, that might have been overthrown, but Gauze has the height.
Quality young man as well.
So So 2nd and 10 for the Lions. Wow. You see glitter going up in the air, crossing into the screen there. Fired up cheering section for Slidell as Bayham calls for it. And Rogers was slipping around and brought down by number 24. That's Anthony Shadwick, the 5'11", 205 junior.
Yeah, and that should tell you the field conditions are deteriorated pretty badly because, again, he's light of foot, so if he can't plant and make that cut, that kind of illustrates that.
So on 3rd down, it's third and a long 9. It's like third and 9 3/4 for the Lions, and Bayham surveying the field, motion across from Burke. Play action, pressure bearing down, takes off himself. Bayham, room to run, still on his feet, crossing the 50, and dropped down at about the 44-yard line. Excuse me, the 46-yard line. But another big play and a 1st down for the Lions.
Yes, it was. I tell you what, it kind of looked like he lost a handle on the ball there right at the end, but evidently, according to the officials, he was down.
Yeah, Slidell actually got super excited, signaling as if they had recovered it.
Yeah.
But a good call from the officials there. So another 1st and 10. Bayham looking to pass, screen out to Gauze. Gauze looking to bring it upfield, and he's brought down inbounds.
Yeah, that's one of those where the clock will keep running. It is on Slidell's side. Covington's putting together a nice little drive right here. That big play by Bayham. Nice little pass. But
if you're down by 28 and no up-tempo offense, sticking with the run.
Well, I think looking at the scoreline right here, Coach Salter's looking more into what do we have to do to make sure we're getting better.
And Rogers slung down there by Matthew Retief.
So instead of throwing the playbook out, I mean, there is no 28-point play to bring you back in.
Right.
So, when you're in the middle of the 3rd quarter, you can look at it and go, okay, let's try to chew into this lead. Slidell was having none of that, and at this point, Coach Salter said, you know what, let's figure out what we got to do to get ready for next week or the week after.
So that brings up 3rd and 4 for the Lions. And Bayham calls for it, looking to pass. Lofts it out. Oh, in and out of the hands of Reggie Gauze. That went through his hands, hit him in the chest, and fell to the ground, incomplete.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because he'll want that back. We've already seen tonight the quality that he has and, hauling in the football. And that's one of those where he was probably thinking, you know what, let me go ahead and look at the end zone, but you got to haul the ball in first.
So that brings up 4th and 4. And let's see what Covington goes with as they call for it. Play action, looking to pass, and it is, nearly picked off and into the hands of Gauze, but that one was mighty close, close from Mark Hegan-Gray getting a handle on it. It was maybe an inch over his fingertips.
And how about Gauze, not being distracted by that, hauling in the pass right there. Huge play, making up for his miscue earlier, if you will.
And another 1st down for the Lions as they continue this drive. Looking to extend it, looking to get into the end zone again in this one. Obviously, it's a huge deficit, but getting into the end zone would be a huge morale booster.
Yes.
And the give goes to Driver. Driver hauled down.
Nice tackle.
Yeah, brought down from behind by the ankles by Kobe Pettis.
Good job by Slidell's defense right there. Driver had a bit of a hole, but it didn't last long.
And Kobe Pettis, one of those players that it feels like we've been saying his name forever here in the prep zone. He's a senior who's been a starter and getting reps for a very long time.
Yeah, he's their talismanic leader on that side of the ball. He's been a stalwart of their defense for a while.
Here calling for it, looking downfield. Bayham lofts it. Wow, what a catch!
Man.
And still fighting forward and wrestled down at the 5-yard line. An absolutely impressive catch there
Justin Lee.
But Justin Lee, the 6'5", 180-pound receiver.
Yeah, he showed his senior leadership right there, because you have to be brave and tough to go into that circumstance and all that catching.
And we'll step away for a heat and humidity break. 5:56 on the clock here in the fourth, our final heat and humidity break of the season. Slidell leads 34-6. So first and goal after an impressive catch from Lee. Baham gives it to Rogers, and Rogers will get down to about the 1 yard line on the carry.
Yeah, this is courtesy of Justin Lee. Being brave, he knew he was going to take a lick right there, and he got the free massage, hauled the ball in, and Rogers obviously put him really close. Ball's down on the 1 yard line.
Handoff again. Rogers barreling forward. No, stopped a yard shy.
He was trying to squirm his way into the end zone right there any which way he could, but Slidell wasn't having anything to do with it.
There's Pettis again with the stop.
Bear in mind, Rogers is only a sophomore as well.
Yeah.
So Covington has some youngsters here or there.
So on 3rd and 1, play coming in. What do you think we see here?
I would imagine that you're just going to see Covington run straight ahead. You're going to see
Rogers or Driver?
I would imagine it's going to be Baham.
Baham. So Baham calling for it. Give goes to Driver, lunging forward, and he is shy.
Wow.
So that'll bring up 4th and 1 for the Lions. What a wall of a defense.
Yeah. I mean, we've already talked about how tough Driver is. So if he got stopped right there, kudos to Slidell's defense.
Stopped there by Marcus Candiff, the 6'5", 325-pounder.
Well, he's giving away a pound or two right there. So
4th and 1. Let's see if the Slidell defense holds. Calling for it is Baham. Give goes to Rogers, and he is in to the end zone.
Shows the content of his character right there. He wasn't going to be denied. Great kid as well. You know, we talked about Justin Lee, another quality young man. Cade Rogers is in that mold and able to be around these upperclassmen, and he's going to be a leader in the future as well.
Absolutely, a 5'9" sophomore.
Yeah, and was not going to be denied right there.
No, you know Coach Salter is greatly looking forward, not only to the rest of the season, but for the next 2 years.
Right.
With Mr. Rogers.
Absolutely.
Going for 2. Baham calling for it. Play action, lofts it up, and it is hauled in. 2-point conversion is good as it's hauled in by Kobe Callahan, and that's just lofting up a jump ball for the 6'4" wide receiver out there.
Why wouldn't you?
So with 3:58 remaining in the game, Slidell leads 34-14. So Hernandez to kick this one away for the Lions. Short, and a flag is down as they're going to call offsides on the Lions.
Yeah, that one didn't quite work out as planned.
Offsides on the kickoff against the Lions. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
So Lions lining back up.
Giovanni Hernandez set to kick off. Corey King back to receive.
So the Lions are going to get another bite at this.
Yeah, they have the hands team well up, awaiting the onside attempt. Oh, and the ball falls off the tee. So Hernandez quickly to reset. Hernandez lofts this one up. Birding, and Birding takes a knee at the 32-yard line.
Bounce the
Yeah, it
ball
looked
at the
like they went
33-yard
with a
line.
sky kick right there, something that they've worked on a little bit in practice, something they're a little more comfortable with.
So now a heavy dose of Harlan Dixon coming our way.
Yeah, well, with 3:53, Slidell may choose to rest Mr. Dixon. He is
Fair.
He has definitely had a workload tonight.
Get your backup. No, Dixon's still in.
Okay, as is Simmons.
As Simmons lining up at that X. So, 1st and 10 for Slidell with 3:53 to go here in the game, commanding 20-point lead. Calling for it. The give goes to Dixon. Dixon running hard.
Dixon straight ahead for
About a
pickup of
7-yard gain on the carry. And in at quarterback for Slidell now, number 16, that's Tyler Harris.
By number 7, Avery.
Yeah, I guess Coach Favre wants to see how his backup quarterback works with his starting unit. But, man, with a slick field and this, that, and the other, I don't know how long he'll stick with that strategy.
And that was Mendheim on the tackle there. Brings up 2nd and 3 as the clock continues to run. Harris calling for it. Give goes to Dixon once again, looking to get it up the middle. He's gobbled up by a host of Lions there, but he has a first down.
Yeah, and we're looking at just over 3 minutes, and this is going to be what you're going to see. Just plenty of runs, more runs, and I tell you what, Harlan Dixon, he brought his hard hat tonight. He put in a full work day.
So another 1st and 10 Slidell. Clock being their friend, they're going to take their time. And let's see. As they get set up. So still you have essentially your entire first team in with your backup quarterback. And we have a flag out right before the snap. Potentially. Well, let's see. Is it delay? Yeah, delay on Slidell.
Delay a game against the Tigers, 5-yard penalty.
Which is normally something that would drive Coach Favre nuts, but, just one of those things you look up and it's like 2:35. In the very least, it's like, hey, next time wait till there's 1 second.
Right.
Right.
Well, now, in their defense, the play clock isn't working, so it's going.
This is true.
It's going off the back judge, and when the back judge puts his hands up, that means there's 10 seconds. Dixon on the carry.
Harlan Dixon.
He'll gain about 3 on the carry, but still, it'll be 2nd and 11.
And if it's going to happen, I'm sure Coach Favre is looking up going, this is the perfect time and place for this to happen. You're up 20 at home with 2 minutes to go.
So 2:10 on the clock. Looking toward next week, Slidell goes to Ponchatoula. Harlan Dixon carries this one, still on his feet, churning it out, and he'll be brought down after crossing the 40-yard line. First down for the Tigers, but Slidell takes on Ponchatoula, who had a good game against the Skippers, but came up short in that one.
I tell you what, that was one of those moments right there where it could have gotten sideways pretty quickly. A little extracurricular activity, but with the rules being what they are, got to be careful.
We'll step away for the injury timeout. Our 1st and 10 after the injury timeout, 1:50 on the clock. Calling for it to be Harris going left side, and another flag is down as Harris has run out of bounds.
Yeah, it's probably going to be, that's in the neighborhood of holding. So that would be my guess right there.
That'll back him up. So next week, Slidell takes on Ponchatoula, who's given up a boatload of points, but they score a lot of points as well with the LSU commit as their quarterback.
Yeah, that's been the MO for Ponchatoula. That really should make Slidell, lick their chops, so to speak, because their offenses look like it's coming into form, and their defense played very well tonight.
Next week, also, Covington takes on St. Paul's at Jack Salter Stadium.
A big rivalry game. Obviously, St. Paul will be coming in looking for revenge, and Covington's going to have to look to right the ship.
Harris takes off. Right side, he'll be dragged down from behind by Jawan Harrell.
Dragged down from behind by Jawan Harrell.
So 90 seconds to go here in this one as Slidell leads 34-14. Redemption for the Tigers. The 84th playing of this, the oldest rivalry in the parish.
Yes.
And Covington got them last year. Covington's actually got them the last 7 years.
Yeah, so this one will be sweet for Slidell, as Coach Al Smith said. He said there's a lot of teeth in this rivalry.
Yes.
He said many a years. The legendary Covington High School coach, along with the other legendary coach, Jack Salter.
Slung down. Somebody loses the helmet down there.
And I'm sure Coach Wayne Grubb, through his years on the Slidell sideline, probably shares a lot of the same sentiments.
And Coach Liuza.
And Coach Liuza as well.
So,
and you can see the imprint in the community, what those guys were able to do. Coach Darrell Graham as well at Covington.
Yes.
Continuing on.
A lot of great games in this historic rivalry.
Yeah, storied rivalry. I mean, the Miracle on Slidell Drive, and Covington's dominance back in the 70s. It just runs the gambit.
So 2nd and 10, Harris will take a knee. And 20 seconds, as this one runs down, that will end this game. So Slidell wins it 34-14 in the 84th playing of the longest rivalry in St. Tammany Parish history. So let's send a thank you to those who help bring you this game, starting with our superintendent, Mr. Trey Fols, director of broadcasting, Dr. Melody Menard, sideline cameraman, Rhett Sharp, cameraman, editor, and coordinator of Channel 13, Dave the Rave Williams, color analyst, Coach Jimmy Inman. So from LB McGinty Stadium, where the Slidell Tigers defeated the Covington Lions 34-14, my name is Grant Yenny. Good night. You are now leaving the Prep Zone.